what's the right way to cover up a toilet seat, like a public toilet seat, before you sit on it? What's the right thing to do? Because what I do, I just take like toilet paper and fold it over itself and create this little art project barrier around the toilet seat. Because they used to just have like this thing mounted up and above the toilet, and it was filled with the thinnest paper ever manufactured by mankind. And you'd take it out and it would tear. You'd throw that in the toilet. You take out the next one. It's perforated so you can tear the line so half of it falls into the toilet. And either you tear through the whole thing or you go to put it down and the toilet just sucks it in. So then you have to grab another one. And usually the third try is the sweet spot to get that right. But they stopped making those. They don't do that anymore. So I have to do this whole toilet seat art project. It takes 45 minutes. And I usually completely fill my pants by the time that I'm done. That's not true, but I think I would rather shit my pants than have to deal with putting my ass against a bare public toilet seat in a men's room. Because that's a torture maneuver. This is war crimes. This is what you do. This is what you do to someone to get a secret out of them. Sit on the toilet seat. Bare. I don't know. I don't think women have this problem, though. Are women worried about this? Because I don't think they are. If I had to guess, I'd say most of them have never even thought about this ever before once in their lives. Because we talked about this, how the men's restroom, it's like there's a doorman outside the bathroom. And when you walk up to the men's bathroom, it's like someone saying, "Sir, you're in luck. Today is our contest where if you blast the most shit out of your ass as fast as you can upon the entire bathroom stall, you'll win $1,000 million. That's what it seems like, because men are trying. Oh, and by the way, if you don't have to number two, that's okay. You're not eligible for the contest. But if you piss on the toilet seat, that will enter you into a raffle to win a speedboat. That's what it seems like is happening. But the women's restroom is not like this. And I know this because I've had to, occasionally, like the men's bathroom will be shut, so you have to use the women's room. Or like one time I was at an airport. You know, different airports, they have different bathroom entrance styles. And I don't know why they don't just adopt a universal style. Some of them have like this like V-shape entrance door where one side is men and one side is women, and you go in and come out that door. Others, they have it to where it's the same V, but it's like the both are the entrance to the men's room, and you can enter one door and go on a little field trip journey and come out the other one. So I was in an airport and I walk into what I assume is the men's room because I saw men. So I just walked in and everything was perfect in this bathroom. There were no people. There were no stains. There were no splatters. There were no splashies. It was a great, perfect bathroom time in this bathroom, which I thought was strange. I was spooked out. I did not like it, but I went to the stall, did my number two. And by the time I came out, people had occupied the bathroom. There were people walking around, but these people were human women and little girls. And after what I just did in the stall, they knew it was me. Let's just say that. Because women, they go in the bathroom, they don't want to make a sound. Men, we don't care. We'll make sounds. So I come out and they're all staring. They're like, oh my, they're shielding their daughters from me. And so I just walked out. I didn't wash my hands. I sucked on my fingertips to get rid of the germs. And yeah, that was my experience in a women's bathroom. It was perfect. It was lovely. So in that bathroom, I would have had no problem just sitting bare ass on that toilet seat. In fact, you could line up 100 women from all walks of life, have them take their pants down, and I'll press my bare ass against each and every one of their asses. And it's not like a sexual thing. It's not out of desire. It's just because I know it would be okay. And that's what women do. Women are clean and it's nice. A women's bathroom is a totally different world, but I think women don't have to worry about this. They've never thought about this. And if I was a female, I would not even bother. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, if you could take this time to like this video and subscribe to the channel, that's all we need. That's all we want. But that's not true, because you can also give us a call at 802-870-6928. Again, that's 870-6928. Give us a call. Tell us how you're feeling. Give us your thoughts, and we'll respond to your calls on this show. We won't answer. You leave a voicemail. Boom. Done. You can also guess what we saw, because we saw something. And if you can guess what it is, you will win a $500 Visa gift card. To go to ohyeahbigtime.tv/guest to read the official rules and enter with your guesses. All right. Hello and welcome to Who's Asking You with the Cheeky Charlies. This episode is not brought to you by United Healthcare. At United Healthcare, our core values are woven into the fabric of every single thing we do. And our core values are profit. Just like any capitalist endeavor. United Healthcare, we're not really different or better than any other insurance company. We're just another one. And you can pay us every month so that when something bad happens to you, we can decide to do nothing about it. United Healthcare. Everyone dies, but we'll still be here. All right. Yeah, we were in Sweden. I know this is old news, but we were in Sweden and I get this alert on my phone that says, CEO shot dead in Midtown. All right. Okay. I said, yikes. Wowza. But that's about it. I went about my day eating salmon roe paste and meatballs because I was in Sweden. And I kind of expected this to be just like any other murder of a top executive in Midtown Manhattan in broad daylight. I expected people to be shocked, maybe appalled, and to say, no, not in my America. Not again. This gun violence has gone too far. Let's revisit our gun laws. Let's look at why this is happening. It's mental health. It's bullets. We need a bullet ban. Which, why aren't people talking about the bullet ban? Don't ban the guns. Just ban the bullets. You can 3D print a gun. Maybe you can 3D print a bullet, but it seems like it would just melt if you did that out of plastic. But turns out everyone loves Luigi Mangione. Everyone loves this guy. And for good reason. Have you seen that hiking backpack photo? He's got abs. He's got pecs. He's got raging delts. So I get it. Not only is the story sexy, but he is sexy. So it's really hard to turn down something like this. But yeah, everyone's very excited. All of the internet is applauding him, cheering him on, creating alibis for the guy, which I think is, I don't know. I think it's a little strange. I think we've gotten a little weird. Because I thought gun violence was just bad. I thought we were all on the same page. Gun violence is bad. But it turns out, as long as you're killing the CEO of a top insurance company, who is the one who sets forth company objectives and goals, which to achieve require the pain, suffering, and death of millions of Americans, it's okay to shoot that person in the back in Midtown Manhattan. But the problem with this is that this is the entire medical industry in the United States. We can't just go around shooting someone in the back in Midtown. We can't live in an America where if somebody disagrees with you, they get to kill you. Now, the left, they think he's on their side, so they love this guy. Luigi Mangione. Luigi Mangione. What a great name, by the way. If you're going, I think that's a big part of the reason why this is such a big story. If his name was David Carlson, even if he was hot, I don't know that we'd be talking about him so much. But his name is Luigi Mangione. Luigi Mangione. It lends itself well to the story. He's sexy. The story's sexy. His name is sexy. What is not sexy about this? Well, other than the murder. And even then, some people find that very nice and beautiful. But the left, they love this. They're like, this is our guy. This is what we've wanted. We've been wanting this to happen for a long time. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. You haven't wanted this because no one's ever been like, you know what we should do? You never turn on NPR. And they're just like, honestly, I think the most obvious solution to this problem is to start murdering the CEOs of these healthcare companies, and that will fix the healthcare problem in the United States. You've never heard that. No one's ever wanted this before. But suddenly he does it, and everyone acts like, oh, yes, this is what we're talking about. So they like this. So many and like friends of mine are like very into this. And I'm not saying I'm deeply against it. I mean, I get it. Trust me. I get it. But, there's some things that you just don't celebrate publicly, even if you like them. And the other problem is that not only does the left think they like him, then it started to come out that he's following maybe some certain far-right folks. And then it puts you in a rock and a hard... what is that saying? It puts you in between a rock and a hard space. That doesn't sound right. It puts you in a rock and a hard spot. It makes your rocks hard. Because if his political leanings are what your support is contingent upon, he's a sexy vigilante. He's a Republican? Fuck. Can we still like him? What do we do? And I don't know if we'll ever fully figure out his political leanings, but I do think it's weird that he is getting so much attention for this. The guy who shot at Trump did not get this much attention. He got a little bit of attention. We were talking about him a little bit, and then the conspiracists, me, were really thinking about him. Why was he on the pitched roof? It wasn't so sloped that they couldn't have guards up there. Why was he in a BlackRock ad? But I think overall we've done a really fantastic job at not glorifying violence, political violence, violence of any kind. There have been mass murderers, there have been shooters, and instead of doing a whole biopic on CNN, we just kind of say their name and move on to the next news cycle. But this one's a little different. It's a little different. With this one, I guess it's just, again, it's too sexy. He's too sexy. And I think the big problem is, so far, the only change that has come from this has been, and people were saying, oh, this is going to open up a broader public discourse about the issues plaguing our healthcare system in the United States. Didn't. All it did was have healthcare companies remove their leadership sections from the about pages on their website. That is all that has happened. Maybe some of you are talking about the issues plaguing our healthcare system, but not even anymore. You just want to fuck Luigi, and I get it. But what I'm saying is this hasn't had a big impact. It won't have a big impact. And I'm not saying, keep in mind, what I'm about to say, I do not think anyone should do. No one should do what I'm about to say. All I'm going to say is that if it happens once, companies take their CEO's picture off their website. If it happens once, maybe CEOs hire a bodyguard. and they're scared when they leave their house for a few weeks. If it happens once. If it were to happen to, say, 2 healthcare CEOs, maybe, just maybe, healthcare CEOs across the board would be a little less interested in doing that job. Just maybe. I don't know. So I think while it should never happen again, if it did, that would be so scary. That a healthcare CEO would say, you know what, I would rather just go take all of this money that I've hoarded from all of these dying people and now go sip some coconut water out of a fresh coconut. Have you ever had coconut water out of a fresh coconut? It's not like that stuff at the 7-Eleven. It's darfin'. It's delicious. Maybe I'll just go sip on that and watch the waves crash and toss a little bread to the seagulls, even though they say not to do that. Who cares? And the people celebrating this and defending this again, acting like they've wanted this for years, like this has been on their Christmas wish list, and finally it has come true for this Christmas season. That's just not what's like. No one's answered this call. This guy just did. Luigi just did this. So there's been no real change. There won't be any real change. We're all going to forget this. It will fade away. And the people who think that they've always wanted this to happen, and that now they think that they want it to happen again, you're also going to forget. Because they act like they've been reeling in this desire to see a top healthcare company CEO get shot in front of a hotel. They're acting like someone has finally answered their call as this national cry for the execution of a top healthcare CEO in Midtown Manhattan in broad daylight in the back and I think in the leg. Which was that his practice shot, the leg shot? But the reality is no one was thinking about this. No one wanted this. And now it's cool. Now it's cool. It's sexy to like what Luigi Mangione did. It's as sexy as Luigi Mangione himself to celebrate the murder of the United Healthcare CEO. And people on the right want to act like they don't get it. How can you? This is evil. How could you like this? Come on. Of course people are happy. People are dying in hospitals because somebody at an insurance company said, I just don't. The whole thing with the insurance companies, you pay them every month. So, for example, you can pay them every month for years and nothing happens to you. You don't even need to go see a doctor for any reason. So they've just accumulated all this money. Then all of a sudden you have appendicitis, your appendix is going to burst. And they're just like, I know we're not going to help. So someone dies. I don't know if people are dying from appendicitis. I don't know what's killing the world. But something like that is happening. So how can you not understand this? I mean, I get it. It's bad, but I do get it because any healthcare CEO is essentially a mass murderer by proxy. Okay, they're not the mass murderer. They have hired hitmen, which is the insurance claims people. That's what's happened. And then he's basically held a gun to those people's head and said, if you don't say no to a lot of people, you're fired. That's what's happening. And apparently his murder is being classified as a terrorist attack. And the right is really latching onto that. He's a terrorist. He's not a terrorist. This is just whatever happened to a good old-fashioned murder. A classic American murder where you shoot dead a CEO of a top healthcare company who's pacing back and forth, whisper reciting his investor speech in front of a hotel. Why can't we just have a good old American murder? it has to be politicized and turned into a terrorist attack. I think that's bullshit. I think it can just be a murder. That's bad enough. 9/11 was a terrorist attack. The only thing that these two things have in common, 9/11 and the CEO getting murdered, is that they happened in New York. And that something fell down. That's it. 9/11's a terrorist attack. People are jumping out of windows. This is a shooting. He shot him and he got on a bike and he drove away to McDonald's. Classic. So while I do get it, I also think it's sick and fucked up to sort of celebrate it publicly. We shouldn't be doing that. I was watching CNN and they had his whole valedictorian speech in full playing on CNN. No commentary. It was just playing on the news. I'm running on the treadmill watching Luigi Mangione's valedictorian speech while trying to get a run in. That's what's happening in the United States. I think we've done a good job, again, for the most part, at ignoring, or at least not glorifying, murderers. But now this is just too sexy. We have to. We're hard. We can't not do it. But like with anything, it will wash away. And I think it's already happening. I mean, unless you're the CEO's family. Unless you're the United Healthcare CEO's family, you're going to move on real fast. And maybe even they don't care. Dad was always gone. Dad was always in Manhattan giving speeches to investors. I don't know. I'm sure they're sad. And yeah, but the rest of us are just wondering, when's the drone tour coming to my state? When's the drone tour coming to a city near me? That's all we're thinking about now. It's already moved on. Because the drones are here. The drones are here. They're flying over New Jersey, apparently other cities too. And this isn't like a little bit ago we had the balloon. We had the balloon flying over us. And we were all worried about where the balloon came from, but at no point did we not know it was a balloon. We knew it was a balloon. The mystery was just, where did this balloon come from? But we have these drones now, and they say they're the size of cars. They say these drones are the size of cars. And keep in mind, we can fit people in cars. There could be people in these drones, which would effectively make them not drones at all. I mean, we don't know what they are. We're calling them drones, but we don't know if they're drones or not. They could be spaceships. They could have aliens in them. And there's a lot of speculation going around about what the drones are. All we seem to really know is that they are not a foreign adversary, apparently. They're not from another country. They're not from another country trying to hurt us, and we have no reason to be afraid of the drones. That's what we're being told. So people are speculating, what are the drones? But some people are saying they're aliens. I don't think they could be aliens because aliens, well, first of all, the drones are not impressive. Are they confusing? Are they annoying? Are they pestering people? Sure. Are they impressive? No. They're just kind of flying slow. Everyone says they fly. It's flying so slow. People keep saying that in the videos. It's so slow. It's barely moving. Yeah, because it's, that's not impressive. I don't know why people are getting impressed by that part. We've been able to fly still for a long time, helicopters. So they're not impressive. They're not doing anything impressive. They're not sucking people up into them, so they cannot be aliens. Also, people think that maybe it is a foreign adversary and the government's just lying. I don't think that could be the case. It doesn't make any sense that a foreign adversary, that Russia, that China would fly their drones over here and just kind of hover around. I mean, maybe if they wanted to map our lands, but we already did that for you. Go to Google. Maybe no one told them. But our lands are mapped. They don't need to be looking in real time at what we're doing through a drone. So the only thing that really makes sense is that it's our own government. People are saying that the government are testing these vehicles. Now, that part doesn't make sense. They can't be just testing vehicles. they wouldn't do that over New Jersey. They would do that in a desert or over the ocean. People have no reason to test something that they don't want to talk about in front of a huge amount of people where everyone is filming it and posting it online and saying, what the fuck? And meeting with top health or top government officials to try to figure out what's going on. So that's not the best explanation, but that doesn't mean it's not our government. But we'll come back to that because I do think it's worth exploring a little bit because people are coming to wild speculations. They are coming up with wild, wacky theories as they always do, and I think it's good to entertain some of them. We can't just toss the baby out with the bathwater. Maybe there's some nuggets of baby in this bathwater that we could keep in a jar. Here's one individual who will just get to what he thinks is going on.
All right. So I had to write my ideas on a piece of paper, so bear with me. But this is going to be worth the watch. I really just hear me out, okay? All right, so the New Jersey drones that everybody's talking about, right? I think I know what they are. Well, I hope I know what they are because it's really cool if I'm right. All right, so we all know that the news and all the reports keep saying...
Which, by the way, this guy...
Drones.
The government's not telling us. We have officials at all levels of government in the United States that say they don't know what it is. But this guy thinks he knows what it is. He thinks he figured it out. Based on what evidence does he have to support the claim that he's about to make?
No one's saying UAP, UFO, none of that. It's almost like someone sent out a memo saying, you guys can talk about them, but call them drones. Call them drones. We want everybody to know that they're drones. And I think that they're doing that just to avoid a public panic. It's better that nobody knows what's going on. I will say
I agree with him on this. It does seem a little coordinated because if we don't know what they are, and if they're big enough to be the size of small cars, which we know, again, that people can fit in because we've been fitting people in cars for a long time, then maybe they're not drones. We don't really know for sure what they are. So to call them drones, all of us unanimously, that feels, it feels a little planned. It feels like a memo might have got out. So...
then they actually do, and everybody's freaking out, whatever. That's what I think is going on. So that's part one. Part two is Google just unveiled their quantum computer called Willow, and I think that occurred December 9th or 10th, something like that. But there's no information on when the chip was actually turned on or when they first began testing or anything like that. We'll come back to that. The next thing is the statement that the Pentagon made. So the Pentagon, their spokesperson, was answering questions. I'm sure all of you guys have seen that video. So a couple of quotes here. They said, quote, that they are aware of the event that's going on, right? She answered more questions. One of the questions she answered, she stated...
Come on, we get it, come on.
They know that this is not the work of a foreign entity or adversary. So that means they know that it's not Iran, China, any other country, and it's not an adversary, it's not an enemy. So that leads me to believe that it's us, right?
So he thinks it's us. What does us mean? Us could mean a lot of things. Could mean our government, could mean our people. He thinks it's us. But there's a catch.
Right? But I don't think it's us from now. I think it's us from the future. And the reason why...
So long story short, he thinks that Google's quantum computer Willow has opened up a time loop and that we have somehow, from the future, traveled through that time loop in our drones to come here and fly around New Jersey for no reason. I know, but maybe what the time loop did was that the time loop opened up an accidental portal, and that these people flew in accidentally. And if you ever lived somewhere and moved away for a long time and then come back, and everything's different. Nothing's the same. There's new roads connecting to old roads that were smaller, that they've widened, and Junior's Bar isn't there, and you loved Junior's Bar. And the Cosba Cafe is gone, and it's a Costco now. Maybe that's what it's like for these future humans who are coming through the Google Willow's time loop. They're getting here on accident and going, Jesus, what the fuck? Why does this all look shitty? Why does it all look different? Where the fuck am I? They're confused because this time loop has moved them not in space, but in time to a new time. So that's possible. But again, I think it goes back to the aliens. Like, the vehicles just aren't impressive. They're not really doing anything cool. They seem clumsy, for lack of better words. So I'm sorry to say, but it's probably not us from the future. It's probably not. But it's getting crazier now because the drones aren't just in New Jersey. The drones have ended up in Detroit, in Jacksonville, Florida, where I'm originally from, in Salt Lake City, where I live now, apparently California, and other places. And naturally, people have a lot of videos of these drones. So many videos. Every time I scroll through any social media, anything, even just on the news, they're talking about these drones, showing people's videos of the drones. And yeah, apparently there's videos of the drones not doing impressive things, but doing strange things. Like there's one of a drone spraying something out of itself. Yeah, this here.
Look at this motherfucker. Look at him spraying. Look at that.
He's spraying.
Look at that. He is spraying the sky again.
Well, he's not spraying the sky. I mean, it's just kind of falling down. It's not like spraying the sky. If it was spraying the sky, it would be going up and out and everywhere. That would be crazy. The liquid is just falling. Why don't you go to where that spot is? Go find what that liquid is. So you might die. It's worth it. Are you an American? Because some people are Americans, and it's very obvious. There's a really great video here of this guy shooting at these drones. Just shooting at these drones. I mean, he's not hitting them. Which, of course, he's not going to hit these things. But yeah, that's what people are resorting to. They're shooting at these, and I don't blame them. But that guy should have been the one to see it spraying the sky, because he would have driven to the goddamn ground zero, the ground zero of drone spray. But when you look at these things, they move so formulaically. There's like a pattern involved here. In fact, there is a video of the drones. This is sort of a time lapse of the drones. And I mean, they are moving in a very specific sort of patterned way. And this leads me to believe that, yeah, it is our government. But as we discussed, they're not testing something. There's clearly no test happening here. Again, they wouldn't test something by flying it over New Jersey and then other cities. Be like, yep, it works. No, because they know people are going to be like, what the fuck is going on? So they're not testing something. But I think the most compelling theory, this is the most compelling theory I've heard, is that the drones are sniffing something out. They're trying to find something. Now, there's speculation on what that thing could be. Could it be like a bomb, a radioactive something? I've heard people say that there's elevated levels of radiation in the areas where the drones are appearing. I don't know if that's true or has any merit. and it frankly doesn't even need to for this to be true. The drones look like they're hunting for something, and they're creating some sort of a sky mesh to analyze the data points to see where the thing that they're looking for is. That seems like the most compelling thing, honestly. But at the end of the day, we don't need to know. We don't need to know what this is. I don't want to know. I hope we never find out what these drones are. Because when we do, it's going to be underwhelming. Whatever it actually is, it's just going to be boring. And if we don't know what it is, it continues to be exciting forever. Because we're going to find out it's just going to be like, oh, it's Elon testing flying cars. They're car size. This is Elon. Or maybe it's Luigi Mangione. All of them. Maybe Google's Willow created Google's quantum computer Willow created a time loop. And us from the future came to get him, to save him. So that we could clone him, and now Luigi Mangione is raining down upon us by the millions. And he's going to kill everyone. And then he's going to kill all of himself. And this is how humanity ends. It did happen in New York. That's where Luigi will likely go to prison if he goes. So that could be what it is. If it's not that, it's not exciting. Even if it is aliens. Because then it's just like, oh, aliens are boring. I don't care. But we don't need to know. We don't need to know what this is. We don't have any mystery anymore. I mean, for all of mankind, we didn't know most things. And now we know everything. What's one thing that you can't ask ChatGPT and it tell you? We know everything. We need something that isn't able to be known. We need a mystery. Because it used to be that we thought solar eclipses were the gods, exacting his vengeance upon us. For basically all of human history, we thought stars were contained in the sky. We thought that if you had cancer, that your phlegm and bile were out of balance. So we got to drain your blood to balance your phlegm and bile. Oh, you died from cancer. We should have drained more blood. We just didn't drain enough, damn it. If we just would have drained a little more blood, our son would be with us still. That's what people thought. Because we didn't know anything. But look at us now. We went from not knowing anything to where we are today. We have built civilizations. We drained blood, then we built a civilization. And we built healthcare companies that kill people. This is what we can do if we don't know some things sometimes. It's okay to not know the answers. It's okay. Like, I don't know how to spell the word restaurant. I don't know. Every time I go to spell the word restaurant, I think that I've remembered the little trick with the A and U and where it goes, but every time I'm wrong. Every time. I can still get to a restaurant. I don't need to know everything. I'll type in sushi restaurant, and it'll change it to sushi restraint because I spelled restaurant wrong. Sushi restraint. I don't know how my phone doesn't know that, by the way. How does my phone not know that if I type any food word and the word rest, that I'm trying to say restaurant? The odds of me trying to say sushi restraint are virtually zero. I'm not a sadist. I'm not a fucking sicko. So how the phone doesn't know that I'm looking for restaurant? It should know that I misspell it one of probably two ways. There's probably only one way. So it should know that, and it should never change the word to restraint. Does anyone else have this problem? What I'm trying to say is we don't need to know the answers to everything. Hell, let's just not even put Luigi on trial. We don't need to know. Let's not investigate the drones. We don't need to know. Let's not have autocorrect ever figure out when I'm trying to say restaurant. I don't need to know. I just need the end result, which for that is sushi, and I love sushi. I love it so much. But I don't like going to get sushi with a group of people though. That is not a good time. Going to get sushi with a group of people is my personal hell. Because everyone wants to, we're just going to order for the whole table and just take little bits and bites. We'll taste a cornucopia of everything. I don't want that. I don't want that. Can I opt out? Can I opt out of your little table time? This is not a good meal to me. It creates inequalities in the desire to consumption ratio. Because most people sit down and eat a roll of sushi. Most people will go to a restaurant and they'll say, I'll have the Dragon Blaze roll. And that's it. And they eat that and they're satisfied. But how dare you not look at me and know that I'm not just going to eat one roll? And if I order 3 rolls, then suddenly that's being distributed amongst everybody equally, and I don't want that. Because then I end up getting 3/4 of a roll, and then I have to pretend like I'm not hungry anymore, like I'm fine. That's not okay. That's how I leave hungry and angry and hating everybody that I just ate food with forever. I don't want to try your mango lotus roll, your emperor's glaze roll. I just want the classics. Give me 2 spicy tunas, 2 salmon rolls, and I'm going to have a great time. I'll eat all 4 rolls by myself. Like a man, like a human adult man. I don't want to try whatever your demented chef has concocted in the back. Do you want to try our piranha prawn roll? Do you want to try our piranha prawn roll? Our piranha prawn roll? No, I don't. Get out of my face. It's not a good time going to get sushi with multiple people. I don't want to be involved in a little sample party. I don't want to be involved in your table time. That's not, if we all go to Ruth's Chris, we're not picking stuff off of people's plates. For the company holiday party, we go to Ruth's Chris. We're not sharing plates. We're ordering what we want, and we're eating that. Why does sushi have to be treated so differently? Because it's divided already? It's sickening to me that adults wouldn't want to order their own meal and eat their own meal like an adult. Sharing. Hey, stop it! But on a separate note, can anyone tell me what happened to JD Vance? Where did he go? He was all over the news outlets. He was on every he's on podcasts that weren't even invented, that aren't even invented. He was on podcasts in alternate universes. JD Vance was everywhere. He was being interviewed outside of every plane on every runway in the United States constantly. JD Vance was everywhere. Then Trump gets elected and he's gone. Is he trying to have his eyeshadow removed or his eyeliner? Or is he having more tattooed on him? Where are you, JD? Anyway, if you're wondering where Leah is, she has hurt her back. So I'm being a good husband, and while she's in pain, I'm here talking and screaming. Because we love each other. So this was a bit of a different episode, huh? Right? Next time it'll be a little normal. Hopefully Leah's back gets better. And if not, we'll just wire the microphone up there, and I think we could do that. But yeah, I think that's it. Goodbye.